Good morning. Of our graduating students here today to celebrate together their many accomplishments. Before we start with the in a moment you will administration and education procession for the podium party. Vice presidents and deans, honored guests, the university president and vice as shown in your program, beginning to receive their degree of an honorary degree of to the advancement of diversity, with recognition of other special guests with us. Invited guests. Chancellor to have their picture taken and then to receive congratulations from their faculty dean. The President and Chancellor will close. Following the procession, we invite you to join our graduates to offer your congratulations over refreshments and welcome family and friends who are in attendance here today. I hope that you will enjoy the ceremony and remember our students on their path that has led them to this moment in time. At Lakehead University, we acknowledge that your annual convocation ceremony. Let's get started. Rise, the true North Star.
Today, let us pray that your God hearts a spirit of passion that will search for what marvelous education and encouraged all our graduates over the years. We pray that each graduate will may your God bless you and those you love.
Good morning. I'm very pleased to declare
à nos invités to acknowledge the original custodians of this land and pay to acknowledge that this in the land Ndamada Windan Sidwimi occasion. Please stand as I announce your name or the area that you represent. Dr. Andrew Dean, Dr. Todd Randall, Acting Dean, Faculty of Science and Environmental Studies. Dr. David Barnett, Dean, Faculty of Engineering. Dr. University. Dr. Moira McPherson, Provost. Mr. Michael Rapino, 2015 Honorary Degree recipient. Kamuzi, Vice President, External Finance. Dr. Dean Jobin Bevans, Acting Dean, Faculty of Career Chaplain of Lakehead University. Years that make the business of the university. Our member of past honorary degree recipient. Of Element Financial Corporation, who will introduce
But if you're a fan of any form of companies, I first met Michael in 1998. At the time, he had joined a small music company called Core Audience as their chief operating $1 million Under Michael's leadership as 45 countries, I recognized in him the kind of irresistible drive that makes success of a business leader. But as I came to know him over the years, I've also seen other facets of his character. One recent illustrates Michael's capacity for caring and compassion. There was a young single mother working as one of Live Nation's ticket agents at the Lucas Stadium in Indianapolis. This woman has an provide for autistic care only to age 11. If there is anything that the company remained employed. That's the kind of person Michael Rapino is. With this kind of person steered a company like Live Nation to the things that are simply innate this also due to the lessons that he learned. Today, Michael returns to this conference as a proven international business to introduce him today as a great
privilege and pleasure.
By virtue of the authority vested in me, I am pleased to admit you, Michael Rapino, to the degree of Doctor of Commerce honoris causa.
Of Facebook messages from my old. What happened? Last I saw you. It's an honor. I thank you, Chancellor, President, and the Board and the Senate. It's great to come home. It's kind of fitting that it's in the auditorium because my dad, who is here, worked tirelessly for many years for the city of Thunder Bay and was actually very foundational to making this auditorium come to life back in the day. I remember being a small boy and hearing about his quest to open the auditorium. I believe it was Bob Hope that opened this place. So it's fitting to not only come back, but to be here. To the graduating class, congratulations. Your journey now will begin. I hope I can maybe provide some inspiration to one of you at least, or some of you, that coming from Thunder Bay, Lakehead University, there's a great journey ahead of you if you're willing to step into it. You know, I often get asked, how did it happen? How did you get from Thunder Bay to Beverly Hills? And, you know, I'd like to tell you the story's simple. I'd like to tell you it's an easy path, but it isn't. So the first kind of story for how I got here was as a campus rep and taking my business degree. And during Lakehead University days, I couldn't tell you that I had some very clear vision of where I wanted to be in life. I was one of many. Statistical odds at my graduation, many would never have predicted 20 years later that I'd be where I was. So how did it happen? Trying to become an accountant like my dad. Promoted a band called the Jeff Healey Band at one of the local bars. And in those 2 hours when I stood backstage, that energy and that passion came to life for me. And at that moment I realized that was my North Star. There was nothing else I wanted to do in life
other than promote concerts and be part of that live music experience. So that was the day where, into the arena. I had a mission now. I knew what I wanted to do. Wayne Gretzky talks about what is his greatest gift that he got. Was it his skill? Was it his speed? And he often says the greatest gift he got was at 6 years old. He knew there was nothing else he wanted to do in life than play hockey. I got that gift, got that passion early that live concerts were something I was going to be obsessed with. And that's the easy part. And many of you will find that and you'll continue to look for that. The next part is actually making it real. Robert Peter and we sat down and with this new energy and this new focus, this napkin was that by the time I was 40 years old, I'd be running the largest live entertainment company in the world, as the largest live entertainment company in the world. So that napkin, which I still have, really became my guiding. I remember when I was in university, 8% of people, 8% chance that they may happen. It seemed obvious to me, so possible. But to me at that stage, it didn't seem all that big. The second part of life that gets really hard, though, is the choices you start to make. As you guys leave here today, you're going to be faced with a bunch of choices along your dreams. And a lot of times we take those side paths. The hard part about my journey has been the choices you make to proceed down is going to give you lots of roadblocks. I remember when I was at an accounting firm in town. I apologize to those accounting majors today. My CFO is very important to my life at Live Nation. Sault Ste. Marie. So I took that job. And again, and you know what? Most of my counterparts and I wanted to work for Labatt Brewing, a thing called live music. And if I had to move to Sault Ste. Marie, because nobody goes from Thunder Bay to Sault Ste. Marie. And then from that, the infrastructure, you got to leave your best friends, maybe a new pretty girl you met. Those are the tough decisions you got to decide. Choices. As I kick those doors open, you move forward in your dream, we'll be making those tough choices. Look back, find where you end up. Start to with the beer, plotting down on a napkin where you want to be in 20 years. And once you define that, and once you find that inner in my office saying, I don't know, I just going to keep messages from by the boldness of it, as if I, not busy that day, but yes, because you're one of those guys from Thunder Bay said, I found my passion, and this is a step in my passion is. And if you don't know what it is, in your love life, it's hard to find. It's from the heart, but once you find it, you'll know it. And once you find that passion, continually make those tough choices, find your plan. So Steve Hudson was one of my first investors when we said we wanted to build a to help us. And I have found over people will help you along the way if you make it easy. Part of my great success has also been not just working with some of the greatest superstars in the world. done in life much, and they can take some of this advice eventually to life. But it's been a pleasure to be able to bring them back to Thunder Bay. They found that my little boys are really cold. This is winter. But it's been a pleasure to bring them back. So I say to you, graduates, today, this is your chance. Go make a difference. I think I didn't have anything when I started. No rich family. When I got to Toronto and I was fighting that Biff from Western, or in America, I'm fighting some kid from Yale, or a rich kid of just has been a big part of my success, because none of it was for granted. None of it was given. You're on your journey now. I hope you find your passion. So thank you and good luck.
Mr. Chancellor, I would like to take this opportunity to recognize our distinguished colleagues who have been awarded Professor Emeritus. This title of Professor Emeritus is offered to faculty members retiring this year from full-time academic life while holding the rank of Dr. Philip Allingham, if you'd like to stand, Dr. Hope Fennell, and Dr. Sandra Wolf. All staff and distinguished guests. In places like your university grow and change, and how it grew and changed years ago, long before Fort William and Port Arthur would come together as the great on Canada Day 1960. Back at our 1960, the installation of Lakehead's and run it. I have to give special thanks to Mr. John Bonifilio, who's a coordinator of technical services, because he found this film in the archives and worked to put it in a machine to then digitize it, and then a few weeks ago surprised me with this great film, and it's about a 50-minute film. Thanks to John Bonifilio, who's right there. Thank you. Are not unlike the young faces of our graduates today. Our university, however, library was only 2 floors high, and classes were either in the Braun building or in the university center, which at that point was only a lecture influence the world. Just this is teaching as the world. Rocket into the heavens to take our first steps among the stars. On the ground, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. changed the world when he led thousands of civil rights advocates in a 54-mile march from Selma, Alabama. Women and men of all ages at Lakehead University to grow and to change. Who help grow the economies and communities around the world. And I think you saw a great example of that today with our honorary degree recipient, Dr. Rapinoe. You see it in the smiles of the big city, rural town effort. From the graduate together, we have changed this university's vision, mission, and belief. Over the next 50 years, your university will continue to change and continue to influence the world by bridging post-secondary education opportunities among many generations. We see you off to the start of your life's journey. To grow, your turn to change, and your turn to influence. Then come back and make it. Know that we will be very proud of you. Thank you. Mr. Chancellor. Next. 2014 album captured 3 2014 Aboriginal were nominated for multiple award wins, including 6 2012 Aboriginal People's Choice Music Awards. Please join us in welcoming our very own alumni, Cheyenne.
Bonjour, Anine Wachier, Makdebnesi Indigenous Misquatas and Dondem. My legal name is Cheyenne. So where I live, one was a birch. Which obviously says they're quite old. But they were all thriving, all 3 of them coming out of that one spot. And it really struck me as I started thinking about the communities that we live in, which are extreme. And as human beings and as community members, we can accept, honor, and use all the diversity within a community to make it a stronger community, just like these trees did. So I kind of sat on that idea for a little bit, and I'd like to say I wrote this song by myself, but sometimes I like to co-write. So when my friend Jerry was up from Nashville I'd asked him to go for a walk with me, and I showed him what I had thought. I wanted to see if he caught the same idea, and he was wowed by the song. Birch, cedar, spruce. Leaning on each other, they will bow to the winds of the Spirit. You from a common grain, leaning, grounded by each other's interwoven roots.
boys. Sarah May Brady. Jeffrey Michael Brown. Jacqueline Michelle Brousset. Sarah Joan Klefstad. Monique Marie Jakowski.
It's just
Alexander Dalton Deneau. Tiffany Veronica Deach. Brittany Ann Duarte. Sean Lucien Dufresne. Nicole Ferguson. Alyssa Freeman. Hope Fulham. Tressa Jean. Jonathan Robert Giles. Chad Harms, winner of the William A. West Scholar Award for Bachelor of Education, Junior Intermediate. Callie Grabowski. Michael Kennedy. Elizabeth Victoria Gardiner Hess. Tammy Lynn Kiesick.